Ever since I started these little discussion videos, you guys have been letting me know which heroes and topics you want me to cover next. And I like that, and I want you to keep doing it. And out of all the comments and whatnot I see, there are heroes that appear more often than anyone else. And recently it's been Lawbringer, Shigoki, Valkyrie, and the topic of today's video, Warlord. If you've been around the For Honor block for a while, you know that at one point Warlord was the king of the roster. And when tournaments were actually a thing, I'm pretty sure Warlord won most of them at his peak. But I mean, he was really strong. His dodge headbutt mix-up was fierce back then since he had great dodge recovery. I think it was tied with PKs at 500 milliseconds. His throw distance was and still is the best in the game. He did really good damage, he could counter guard break from full guard, and he still has his zone. And I think at one point, if Warlord was in revenge, the headbutt would knock you down. Warlord was complained about for a pretty long time, and eventually Yubi announced that his nerf was on the way. And when that nerf finally went into effect, Warlord was hit pretty hard. Some people say Yubi went a little too far and completely butchered him, and I think the devs themselves even acknowledged their mistake by taking a little too much from him, and now they nerf a little more passively. Basically what happened was his dodge recovery was bumped up by 200 milliseconds, making it tough for him to punish bashes and unblockables. Honestly, everyone should just have 600 millisecond dodge recoveries at this point. They stripped away his ability to counter guard break from full guard, and they locked the timing of his headbutt, which is funny because now Conqueror has a variable timing on his shield bash. Anyways, the nerfs didn't completely kill Warlord. He still can be useful, and right now I think he's a middle of the pack hero. His headbutt is still useful. It's like a watered down conch shield bash and puts pressure on his opponents. His light attacks are still pretty fast, his zone is good, even though it is a little slow. It does 25 damage and has a wide arcing hitbox. It also can be done on a heavy parry, so there's that. He's got hyper armor, and on top of all of this, he's still got his unlocked crashing charge mix up, if you want to call it that, which can still catch people off guard and laying you some really easy damage. And although the headbutt isn't as great as it once was, Warlord still got some pretty good out of stamina pressure. He's still got his downsides too. The full block isn't worth much anymore, his range is really low, sometimes it feels like you really need to be right up on your opponent. And if you're going against an assassin who can move around quickly with the dodges, then it's going to be hard for you to catch up to them when they start running away. On top of that, his entire kit just feels limited and is probably the smallest kit in the game next to Shigoki's. His whopping 2 combos don't do too much since they can be blocked easily, and they're predictable because I mean, he's only got 2 of them. And if you resort to headbutting, a dodge from most of the cast is enough to punish you for it. But despite his weaknesses, I can't say that Warlord is a really bad hero. He may have been the best at one point, but just because he isn't now, in Season 5 doesn't mean he's worthless. As I said, all of the original heroes need to be reworked, as I don't think Yubi expected anyone to become as good as they are, and most of the original heroes just don't have the tools to sit at the top of the chain unless they're PK or have a rework. And I think that Warlord is still one of the better original heroes. He just lacks a lot of the options the newer and reworked heroes have. And maybe that's why some of you guys view him as this really weak hero. If he's played the right way, Warlord is still a threat to a lot of the cast. I like Warlord as a hero, I just can't get into him because of his small kit. And I would love to see him get his rework eventually. But not anytime soon though, because there are heroes who need it way more than he does. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I know it isn't what some of you guys thought it would be, but I just think that Warlord is a solid hero who needs work along with the rest of the 9 starting heroes who need a fresh coat of paint. He can hold his own against most other heroes and doesn't crumble like a couple heroes that I'll be talking about very soon. As usual, I want to hear your opinion on this, so talk to me down in the comments and tell me what you think about Warlord currently. Do you agree with me and see him as a solid middle class hero, or do you disagree and think I'm completely wrong? And if you like the video or just agree with me, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.